Come one, come all to a beautiful show. It's gonna be awesome and some other stuff. Some other musical stuff.
You Ghostnuts, motherfucker.
We're back on a non-YouTube platform.
Yeah, we got
from now on.
promptly removed. There was like 5 or 6 videos in a row.
Yeah. All right. So this is just a little touch base of what exactly just happened in our buzziness Ghostnuts Enterprise of the week.
Yeah.
Just chilling out, looking at what's going on. Then we get hit by a fucking email from YouTube.
Multiple emails.
But it stemmed off from one. It's like, we have removed episode 19, and then we go one down. Like, we have removed episode 28 or something, and then just kept on rolling back. And then we even got to the point where like they removed episode 6. And I go,
Which has been up for like a year almost.
yeah, it's been there for almost a year, and I'm just thinking to myself, episode 6 that was done in like June. Wait, before that, it was done in like May. Anyway, besides the point, what they thought about it almost a year later to fucking remove it. So what's going on? And then they come in with the email that says, we have permanently deleted your channel.
Pack your bags, buddy, and fuck off.
That's it.
But I was half expecting it, to be honest. 2 strikes in, giving us the orange card.
Yeah, but like in a way, the way they did it, like removing multiple videos off, it was like 6 videos off the bat we've decided to remove.
Yeah, but YouTube's just one platform for us anyway.
I know, but it's probably the most valued platform.
Well, it's got the biggest audience.
It's got the biggest audience.
It does.
So imagine like we see it in other mainstream media type of things, how many people are getting shadow banned, removed, deleted, and now it's happened to us.
Yeah.
So what does that go to show?
We're retards.
I was going to say we're showing the right information.
Okay. Yeah, it depends who you ask, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's just a little update on what happened there. And it fucking pisses me off because like...
Here we go.
It's something like you work hard for. And then like, it's like...
Speak for yourself.
We've created this meal for you.
Beautiful child, we have ball.
Turning into a human-animal hybrid.
Chimera.
Just like...
A mixture of you and I. Your hands are
that's
very warm.
Love child. Which rolls into, and I'm not alluding to rolling down the stairs like Joe Biden
Joe.
did
Pack a lunch for that staircase, buddy.
earlier that week. But I had a little bit of a incident myself.
A bit of a tumble yourself.
On the way to the studio. I actually fell over.
Ankle's got a bit weak.
Yeah.
Achilles tendon tore.
Roll over. And just like Joe Biden, I fell down the stairs, which isn't good because it goes back to what I was doing earlier this week. I was actually mocking the cunt for falling down the stairs. Look at this old frail man. Can't even walk up a flight of stairs, but think he can.
If there was one good thing you could take from that whole ordeal, what would it be?
About Joe Biden falling down the stairs, or about
Joe Biden in general in that situation?
It was very humorous to me. Like, I think.
Okay, I saw a man who was willing to get back up after facing defeat multiple times.
Okay.
Even though that enemy was a staircase.
I know, like, imagine him in a war, butting up with fellow war alleged veteran Prince Andrew. So next thing you know,
check those adrenals, buddy.
And Biden will stop sweating as well. But it goes to show that
can't sweat if you make that plastic.
Yeah, it just goes to show that those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Exactly.
As I was teasing Biden about falling down the stairs, and then it's actually it got actually captured, this footage, on our outside the studio, and I'll play it right now. And yeah, so that was the that was
Quite
the
frightening, some would say.
yeah, like it got to the point where I almost had to be carried out in a hearse, like Joe Biden when he announced his presidential victory.
Yeah. So as they used to say back in the old day, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, because staircases are
Bad for your health.
bad for your health. Yeah, but as we were mentioning before, we got a little bit carried away. Human-animal hybrids.
Yes, that is the topic of discussion this week.
Yeah, so I don't think we've addressed it yet, but it's we mentioned a little brief thing in the Harvey Weinstein episode that this man could allegedly possibly be a human-pig hybrid.
And, well, after looking through the evidence, all signs are pointing to most likely.
And then we got removed straight away from that. One of the
Might have been onto something.
Yeah, so is a Weinstein, well, it depends because he didn't really have he was a hermaphrodite, so maybe they infused the pig and human.
If it was a hermaphrodite, he's an actual chimera. Then.
Yeah, the actual genitalia infused itself, having both because of the genome sequence.
Yeah. So we were on the money.
Yeah.
Without even being...
So is this alleged?
Ask
fucking YouTube, because apparently...
Ask a woman who got attacked by that fucking...
Yeah.
Man thing.
Let's say ask YouTube, but fuck with...
Don't ask
Fuck
YouTube.
off.
Well, whoa.
Fuck YouTube. Anyway. Oh no. That was anyway. Okay,
So with that, let's transition into episode 46, the big bag, of what the fuck's going on in this world, human-animal hybrids, chimeras. And this is something, if you're not sure what the fuck it is, I don't think fucking anyone is. Because it is a fucking
it's
shit
very,
soup.
very secretive. It's a shit soup.
It's a shit soup.
Yeah. Shout out to one of our favorite restaurants, which allegedly. Anyway, needs a revisit or original visit. Okay, human-animal hybrid. So when we talk about this, we're actually discussing the not the mythology, as you see
Ancient Greek, Egyptian chimera of
in
like
Hindu,
fused, multiple different animals fused into one.
where they've got like the head of a bird and a body of a
Lion,
built man.
tail of a snake,
Yeah,
legs of a goat.
Well, if you choose to believe that, or whatever, I'm not going to tell you what to believe or what not to believe, but we're not talking about this. We're actually talking about the scientific experiments actually merging human and animal into one, like a one man and animal torso.
Beautifully said. So, like, just to put out the scientific definition of what a chimerism or chimera is, because you might hear us reference it a lot. It's basically an organism, organ, or part consisting of two or more tissues from different genetic composition. So a bit of that, a bit of this, put it together, which shouldn't usually be put together, results into something new. So it could be, like, you can see it in everyday life, right? If you go to the supermarket, you see it with fruit, right? So you got like boysenberries, which is a cross between raspberries, blackberries, different berries. They mixed it through grafting, which is splicing different plants together. And without scientific injection intervention, it forms, right? You see it in the animal kingdom, in zoos. Have you heard of a liger? Lion and a tiger?
Or have now.
Force them to copulate. What do you get? I get a little liger.
Why don't you just get a lion to fuck a tigress?
Yeah, that's what happens.
I thought they injected the...
No, they fucking force them to put a bit of
Under
peanut butter
duress,
on that. You know what I'm saying?
One of those ones.
And the funniest one is a little Geep, which is a goat and sheep mixed together.
Okay, is that are you trolling me now?
No, it's a thing.
Geep.
Yeah. So I think when you see this kind of crossbreeding, like us as humans, we don't instantly detest it, because it's something that, although it is not common, it is something that happens naturally, right? You're not forcing through scientific modification. You're not playing God, as
Like
some would
natural
say.
selection.
Like natural selection.
Natural selection too.
Unos. Yes. So it's kind of like it's kind of natural in a sense, even though it's straying from the path of nature. But shit gets interesting when we look further into the topic of human-animal hybrids, right? Because or like cross-species chimerism.
You know what? I reckon there are people out there, like sick fucks, that actually like fuck goats and stuff.
There's video evidence. I have stumbled across doing research, which I am not pleased with viewing. But yes, people do fuck animals.
And then what happens to like as
What was that, Mr. Hands? Remember that shit back in the day? Mr. Hands?
Yeah,
Getting that rumpus ready for that horse?
I remember that.
It's too deep.
But not only that, but
Man
like
died in hospital later on.
yeah. So what do? They do these people like carry the child of the? I don't know. It sounds too fucked up to me.
Well, without scientific intervention, if you were just to fucking shoot some fucking
Bullets,
spaghetti into an animal, it will not bear a child.
Yeah.
It will not bear some goat man or camel man, whatever the fuck it is. It's always, wait, we always say the men are fucking the animals. But I'm sure there's instances of it happening in reverse.
Oh yeah, I've seen a horse fuck a chick.
We have strayed far from but yes, it happens. I guess, and it's a disgusting concept. But where this gets interesting is when scientists decide to play God and make that shit actually happen. So you got Britain, which reports came out from the King's College, University of Newcastle, Warwick University have conducted experiments with human-animal embryos, right, with the purpose of finding cure. This is the cover story. Well, it could be true. Finding cures to various diseases such as Parkinson's.
Yes, I did. Well, I did.
Number one for today.
I did see something about this, and apparently, if this bloke wasn't on like painkillers or something, he'd be dead.
Yeah, they got bloke in the garden. See that little video that BBC? Yeah, that bloke. Well, so what they're doing is, well, there's a lot of fucking science behind it, but they're basically injecting human cells into a animal embryo, so when it fucking grows up, it has some percentage that is human. And then, for example, they say pigs, or have you heard that saying, pig meat is the closest to human meat, it tastes very similar. Well, apparently the organs are very similar to ours as well. So what are they doing? Bit of human DNA, splicing into the fucking swine. Next thing you know,
Harvey Weinstein.
Beautiful. The heart of a pig into the body of a man.
To say the other way around.
For his case, the body of a pig. Everything of a pig, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Did you see that shit? That it's happening around the world, right? It's not just Britain. Then you got the fucking University of Tokyo jumping back up. The Japanese, you know how they like that fucking octopus shit. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The Japanese government recently lifted a ban on this stem cell research. So originally, like, they weren't allowed to let this cross-species human-animal embryo last a certain amount of days. But now they've lifted the ban so it can progress further, so it could basically mature into, well, God knows what the fuck it's going to become.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Japan because I'll bring them up later on. I did a little bit of my research with the whole bioethics sector of their involvement in such a thing. Because if you think about it, this whole bioethics stuff, like, shouldn't they step in and say this is obviously unethical? But all they want is the money, Lebowski.
They want it all.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that because I think the Catholic Church came out and they said, like, this shouldn't be happening. This is against God's will, right? But when you look at this data, like, they're saying that it's 99% human DNA and 1% animal. So they came out and they said, well, if that's the case, we don't condone in aborting its life because it is now human. It is majority human. Yeah. So where do you draw the line? Is it animal or is it human? Are we so different from animals?
Well, that's the whole argument of, like, how much percentage of it is or isn't. So in a nutshell, this is what their key reasoning of the scientific explanation of breeding human-animal hybrids is to carry human organs in an animal for to rely on them for transplants and donors and whoever needs an organ.
So they're trying to cut down on the illegal organ donating, organ harvesting, right? That's happening in China, Uyghur camps we discussed. The waiting list, because we all know how long it takes.
Yeah, waiting lists and all that.
So they're trying to make a vessel from a animal to like that grows human organs.
That's it. And next thing you know, they got it in storage for Henry Kissinger's next heart operation.
He'll need multiple.
Well, wasn't it like David Rockefeller had 6 heart transplants?
Yes, and he would have gotten more if he didn't kick the bucket. But like, say you're using animals to harvest human organs. What if the reverse happens? What if you use, I don't know where I'm going with this, but what if you use animals and transplant human brains into them?
Go on. I'm interested.
Apparently that's what they're doing. They're injecting human brain cells, neurons and shit into mice. Like as the embryo, when it grows up, it's got like the fucking brain of a fucking human. It's got the mental capacity, some were saying, like the thought process of a human.
Is this predictive programming from Pinky and the Brain?
Yes, our great famous cartoon when we were children.
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently that's happening. There's fucking rats with fucking human neurons being created.
There's actually I found a list of a lot of fucked up hybrid things going on. But before I touch onto that, I just wanted to, something came across to my mind, like about this, like fucking harvesting a human organ into a fucking animal. So when you hybrid an animal and it gets a bit of human DNA, and they've harvested this organ in this pig, what happens to the pig after they've killed it?
See you later, buddy. Time to see you in the latest mincemeat pack.
I was going to say that. So in comes fucking Ronald McDonald, and he goes, give me that fucking pig. I'm going to sell it in my patties.
Big Mac ribs making a comeback this year.
I'm putting it in the bacon and egg McMuffin, if you know what I mean.
And they are, yeah.
And what does that mean? It makes you think, does that mean we're eating a bit of human? We already know that pork's already fucking closest to human meat.
Yeah.
But if we've got a human animal hybrid combined, does that mean we're eating a bit of fucking human meat? Are we cannibals?
If we're consuming it, yeah, that would mean that's the case, right? So what you're trying to say is, like, where do you draw the line? When is it human? When is it not?
And that's where it comes to the whole bioethics thing. Over time, US Congress have come in and wanted to put legal barriers around this, but...
Wait, we're going to give them rights?
No, to go against
them.
Okay,
yeah.
But the Bill Gates Chungus cunts come in and they're like, okay, all right, we'll look at this, but at the end of the day, you want to be waiting 6 months for a fucking liver? I didn't think so, motherfucker. I'm Bill Gates, bitch.
The funny thing is, like, for all this shit, like all these laws and regulations to be passed, come to light, how much experimentation was happening behind the scenes for them to get to this stage where they can fucking, you know...
Well, this is the stuff that we know about. What about the stuff we don't know about? Like, we know apparently George W. Bush came in and said that he wanted to put a ban, or not a ban, or he wanted to put some shit on proceedings of bioethics, and he signed an executive order. But then in comes Obama, and pretty much the first thing he did was reversed all of George Bush's executive orders or some shit. So that means that there could be funding for these, you know, scientific research places. And thanks, Satoru, doing that money good.
Good businessman.
Looks like it. Yeah, but what I wanted to bring up was some fucked up hybrids in the past, which is pretty funny.
Well, like some hybrids as in...
Some stories and like of possible hybrids and shit like that. 1 sec.
of like animals being mixed with human DNA, or like how are they mixing it? So you got like a fucking little spider monkey.
I'll show you. So first we've got the rabbit man grown in a dish. A rabbit man. This was a successful splice in China, believe it or not.
Of course. Where else would this shit happen?
Of the rabbit man. So that's
Is that Peter Rabbit coming to cinema soon?
looks like it. Then we have the human chimpanzee hybrid,
I fucking ready. Yeah, go.
who apparently was successful, and then there was like these revolutionists that busted into the research labs and pretty much killed it or
Isn't
something.
this like the concept of like 27 days later?
Yeah,
But they release it but yeah, I've actually like looked into this whole chimpanzee
yeah.
human hybrid shit where they actually want to inject, and they're saying it is pretty easy and could happen, inject human brain cells in a chimpanzee's embryo or some bullshit, so it develops the brain of a human. So you're gonna have a walking, talking chimpanzee. Imagine that, like the strength of a chimpanzee, the mind of a human. Fucking, that's Planet of the Apes shit.
It is.
Where's James Franco at?
I was gonna say
Probably in prison after fucking sipping some.
with Dr. Zayas.
Okay, yeah.
Then we got pigs with half human blood.
Yeah, this
With-
one-
If you look at Harvey Weinstein, it's full human,
yeah.
human blood. We got goats and cows that lactate human milk,
Is
and
that
that's what you'll be getting with your next manouche and at the local.
is that necessary though?
Looks like it. Pigs with sheep and human organs. Well, as discussed. Mice with human livers.
Excuse me, how's that gonna work?
Isn't a liver bigger than a mouse?
I'm not gonna question science, eh?
Mice with human anal sphincters.
Yeah, so if you wanted to fuck someone in the ass, but he wasn't tight enough, there you go, you can fuck a mouse.
When I saw this, I just died. Like, how's...
When you think about it, the human anal sphincter is a marvelous thing.
Yeah.
He knows when to let a fart out. It's a fart and you can let it out.
Yeah.
And he knows when to hold the shit in.
Yeah. Imagine you're in
It's
that grind.
magic. You could have a log chambered and
Yeah.
still let out some gas. I'm not gonna
That's a
discuss it,
whole
but-
episode on its own.
Yeah.
Okay, this one was fucked up.
I remember this shit.
A mouse with an ear on its back. I don't know what. Anyway, whatever. Then we've got mice with half human brains, as
Yeah.
you discussed, and then monkeys with a human
Oh, yeah,
neural
which we
cells,
discussed
as
as well.
what we've already discussed before.
Imagine that your neighbour's a little chimpanzee and it's like walking and talking to you.
Well,
Next thing you know,
Maybe they are.
your neighbour's a fucking little chimp
yeah,
and it's got a human brain.
it's
And you
smarter
wake up
than
at
you.
night, you see it like fucking with a red lipstick between its legs, staring at your wife. What are you gonna fucking do?
Who knows? You don't. Yes, it's all trans futuristic humanism.
Yeah, but like I've actually done some heavy research into this shit, and it's pretty complex, right? I'm not going to go into the whole science and shit of it, but Australia is involved in this shit as
Oh,
well.
no, of course they are.
Yeah. So this goes back like, anyway, I'll put the link in the show notes, but I've got like articles, links, disturbing history of like animal human hybrid experiments that happened in the 90s, 21st century. It's all fucking here, and when you read it, you won't. It's like we're living in a science fiction movie. Yeah, it's nuts.
So, what's it in a nutshell? Like,
It's apparently very easy to do.
yeah,
It's more prevalent than you think, and don't be surprised if some shit comes out in 20, 30 years that there was like a fucking animal that basically acted like a human.
and ran for prime minister, and shit himself at Engadine Macca's.
There we go.
Okay,
But yeah, there was some other shit you were telling me as well about like DARPA as well.
well, DARPA is interesting because this is a strange organization that's involved in our human-animal hybrids. For example, like they work with the military and the CIA for like defense projects, technology, and all that shit.
What's the DARPA stand for? It's like Defense Advanced Research Projects or some
Yeah.
shit. Right?
Yeah, and so military, all that crap. What they want to do though is because you think about it like, oh, shouldn't they be focusing on like weapons of mass destruction or like technology of how like, you know, you can, with a press of a button you can blow up, I'm not going to say it, but a country that would
Not have been blown up.
that's it. They want to create super soldiers. So like, you know, back in the day we used to watch these G.I. Joe's fucking superhuman, you know.
And they didn't tell us when we were kids. That's all because of steroids.
Well, that's it, allegedly. And okay, so and these are like fucked up things like splicing human genes with animals that are advanced in a specific thing, like, you know, the speedness of a cheetah, the strength of a bear, like you lose your fucking arm in battle, grow back like a lizard. Like just fucked up shit like that. Like doesn't even sound real, but these cunts are actually like working on stuff like that. Superhuman soldiers, merge it with technology, you get a transhumanism, fucking animalism.
Wasn't there a movie about this?
Fucking probably.
Anyway, you know what this fucking reminds me of? Remember those books when we were kids, Animorphs?
Yeah.
And you always have some racial minority that's being transformed into the shittest animal.
Yeah.
Like you got the little Mexican kid turning into a rat.
Yeah.
But you got the fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl turning into a fucking gazelle or some fucking lion.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And like when you think about it, you're like, oh, this is like, you know, it's just a show. Like these cunts are fucking actually working on it. They started off with like fusing some shit from like spiders to help them with their bullets to make them super penetration or I don't know, the silk of the fucking bullet silk. Fuck, I don't know.
Well, yeah, you see it like people take inspiration from nature for a lot of things.
Yeah. And like, yeah, and then and now DARPA's involved, and it's like, yeah, we're doing this. We're making fucking super soldiers, so we're going to breed our own humans. And it goes all back to the bioethics thing. Once you have crossed gene therapide fucking, you know, people, where does that fit into bioethics? Like, what percentage is a human and what percentage is an animal?
Yeah.
They might say something like, we need to change the whole bioethics Bill of Rights and Congress.
Code of conduct.
Yeah, because it doesn't fit in with, because, you know, they're going to allow people that are animals to go and do all this shit, and then like the humans are going to be like, what the fuck? So it just goes to show like, when's the line drawn? They're going to breed like this whole fucking community of like robot animal people, as fucked up as it sounds, and they're going to be exempted from like shit on like, you know, constitutions and stuff.
So yeah, they could indirectly be altering the human race, to be honest. And I've seen some other far-fetched crazy theories. Basically, like what you see in CGI movies, say like, you know, what was that cat movie?
Cat in the Hat.
No, it's not. It's like a fucking musical. I think it's called Cats.
Ah, yes.
Where human cat hybrids are basically advertised, like this CGI movie is being advertised. It's like advertisement for the elites. Like, we've got this in the lab. If you want to fuck this, it's ready to go.
Oh, like you might see like a cat person and like, oh, it's a fucking Helen Mirren as a cat. Fuck, I'd like to
And they
get
always
to that pussy.
And they always sexualize this whole cat human thing, and apparently it's like a little advertisement for the elites, serve them up.
And then they go like, oh, I liked seeing fucking Penelope Cruz as that cat, if you know what I mean, a nice fucking Spanish fucking cat. I'd like to, Mr. Weinstein, where can I find that?
I'd like to eat those baked beans.
Come with me and I'll let you fuck this cat.
Allegedly.
Catwoman.
Halle Berry.
Funny how, Hollywood. And we just got a big fucking stream of light just came in.
Because we are speaking the truth.
Yeah. But in saying that, the last thing I wanted to say was, imagine like this fucking human-animal hybrid goes rogue.
Look, it could happen, right? Because you create this fucking human-animal hybrid. Wow, look, it's on the TV, it's on the news. It's so beautiful. Some bloke or some woman is going to want to get up in that. And then cause they're spliced with human DNA, what's to say it can't be impregnated naturally, you know? Then you got this fucking whole fucking different gene of fucking little human animal whatever the fuck they are roaming the streets.
Wait. You're starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist.
I'm just throwing out shit that could happen. I don't fucking know.
Fair enough.
But can you deny the fact that there's someone out there that's gonna want to fuck this thing?
That's fucked up.
It's gonna happen, bro. People
I know.
fuck cantaloupes and hump pillows and shit. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But they fuck it. They fuck the animal in
My
its,
pillow guy.
and, for a great night's sleep.
Yeah. And on that note, ghostnutspodcast.com, not YouTube.
Maybe on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Maybe on YouTube.
Maybe.
Keep your eyes open.
But yeah, BitChute for now. Audio platforms, I don't think we've been fully banned yet, but censored, who knows?
Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts,
And BitChute.
BitChute.
BitChute's the only way to go for video at the
Gab.
moment. Oh yeah, and Gab's picking up a bit, so we might be more active on it. So
Yeah. Anyway,
And on
thanks
that-
for listening, I guess.
And on that note, as they say in Animorphs,
Don't stick your dick in a tortoise.
see you later.
Ghostnuts, motherfucker.
Ghostnuts. Podcast, boys.
Are they discussing this on the Ghostnuts podcast? Are you? You guys need to break this fucking down.
Get to the chopper! Kill your fucking selves, you fucking globalists!
We can't see them. They can't see us.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
God, I love those Ghostnuts.